Alright, there's a video for 3HT about exercise 62 from chapter 9. 62 is about probability, and that's the new paragraph. Here it says 9.6 probability. So here's a whole explanation. It's really big, you can read that. But the point is that to calculate a probability, you have to do the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. Now what that means is that this is something that you want, the number of favorable outcomes. So for example, if I'm playing a game and I have to roll 2 dice, and if I roll 5, I win. You can see that you can roll 5 on 4 different ways here, right? You can roll 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, or 1 and 4. So I have 4 favorable outcomes, and in total you have 36 outcomes, because this grid is 6 by 6. So in this case you would do 4 divided by 36, and there you have your answer. Well, we're going to do exercise 62 here, and that's about Jake. Jake rolls 2 dice. Make a 6 by 6 grid and write the product of the numbers in each of the squares. Well, product means times. I did a bit of pre-work, so here's mine. Here you can see the dice, right there and there, and here in this grid you can see all the products. Moving on to exercise B, it says calculate the probability as a percentage that the product of the numbers is 12. Okay, so here's the grid. We have to count where we see 12. I see 12 here, 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 and here. So on 4 places, right? So in total there are 36 things. So this is how you calculate it. First you write down the P. The P stands for probability. And then in brackets you write down what you want. Now we want the product to be 12. Now we saw that happened in 1, 2, 3, 4 different grids, 4 different squares. So we do 4 divided by 36. And when you do that, you get 0.111. If you write it down as a decimal number, you always use 3 decimal places. But this question says that we have to write it down as a percentage. So that would be 11.1%. So that's exercise B. Moving on to exercise C, there it says calculate the probability as a percentage that the product of the numbers is less than 6. And less than 6 means not including 6, or everything smaller than that. So for example, 1 times 1 is 1, so that one is correct. And this one, this one, this one, this one, but this one not, all of these not, and here we see a few that are. So let's count where we see a number smaller than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see that in 10 different places. So we want the product. Let's move the camera. I want the product to be smaller than 6. Now we counted that happens in 10 different places. So 10 over 36, let's calculate what it is. 10 divided by 36 is rounded off to 3 decimal places, 0.278. So as a percentage, that's 72.8%. Alright, great. Moving on to exercise D. The question is, calculate the probability as a percentage that the product of the numbers is even. Okay, so we have to count where we see an even number. Well, what you might notice is that this whole row is even, and this whole row is even, and this whole row is even. So we already have 6, 12, 18, and here we also have a couple of ones, right? Here we have 3 of them, here we have 3 of them, and here we have 3 of them. So it's like 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 3 is 21, plus 6 is 27. So on 27 of these squares, the product is even. So we're going to write down this. The probability that the product is even, that happens in 27 out of the 36 ways. And 27 divided by 36 is 0.75. So that is 75%. Moving on to exercise E. There the question says calculate the probability as a percentage that the product of the numbers is larger than the sum. Alright, so this one's a bit more difficult. We have to figure out when the product is larger than the sum. So let's just first take a look at all the numbers and then make a little note where that's the case. Well, here it's not, because 1 plus 1 is 2 and 1 times 1 is, well, 1. So this is also not correct. Here if you add it, you get 4, so this is also not correct, this is not correct, this is not correct, and this is not correct. This one is also not correct, this one also not, but this one is. Let me make a little cross here. Because 2 plus 3 is 5, but 2 times 3 is 6. Also, this one is bigger, this one is bigger, and this one is bigger than what you would get if you add them. And here, this one is bigger, and this one is bigger, and this one, and this one, and this one. And then also here, this one is not, but this one is, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So I think I see a sort of a pattern here. This row is not, this row is not, this one is not, but the rest is. Because 5 plus 2 is 7, but 5 times 2 is 10. So this whole row is correct, and this whole row is correct. So those are all the squares that we want. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 4 of those rows, so that's 20 plus 4 is 24. So this happens in 24 of those squares. So the probability that the product is bigger than the sum, right, is 24 out of 36. And 24 out of 36 is 0.667. So rounded off to a percentage, we have 66.7%. And this was exercise 62. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.